Yeah, I just finished watching Highest to Lowest, the new Spike Lee film starring Denzel Washington and Jeffrey Wright, and a whole host of others. This is what I've heard is their fifth, I believe, collaboration together. Um, and I don't know. I guess it's good to start with the things that I liked. I like the opening shot. I'll say that. The story is loosely based on an adaptation of an older Japanese film called High and Low, I believe it is. Uh, this one, this interpretation is about a musical mogul, Denzel Washington's character, who sold his music company and is trying to get shares back to take control over it and become, the man again or whatever. Uh, his son plays basketball, and his best friend, who is also slash his driver, uh, Jeffrey Wright, who was in prison, and he also has a son, and it's like, you know, uh, Denzel's godson or whatever, and vice versa. And Jeffrey Wright's, you know, Denzel's son is Jeffrey Wright's godson or whatever. Uh, and in the midst of him putting up almost everything he owns, including his house, just to get to pay the shares back to gain control over his company again, the boys get kidnapped, and that's basically what it's about. Them trying to get the kids back. Now, ASAP Rocky is in this. I'm believing this is his acting debut. Um, New York is where the story takes place. So you have Spike Lee, Denzel, and New York. Slam dunk, right? Uh, I was disappointed. I gotta admit, a lot of reviewers are saying they love this movie. They love the cinematography. They love the musical soundtrack. They love Denzel. They love the acting. I had a problem with all of the above. The story was there. I'll say that there was some foundation there. There was some meat on the bones that you could have worked with, but the execution for me felt a little messy. I kind of felt like they had something dramatic that I've never seen before. And not to give away too many spoilery things, I mean, the original movie was like made in the 60s. So if you haven't seen it, I do suggest seeing that, which is what I did right after seeing this movie, because I needed to know what they were trying to do. And the original is actually really good movie. Um, and this one, I feel like they took elements, try to modernize it, and it just wasn't executed right. A big fan of Denzel, big fan of Jeffrey Wright, big fan of Spike Lee. Uh, I feel like they had something to build on, and somewhere in the modernization of it and trying to make it like modern, it just they lost their way somewhere, and there was a lot of beats that felt, dare I say it, Tyler Perry-ish, and that surprised me. I don't know the actress name that played Denzel's wife and his son, but they could have been in any Tyler Perry movie. Their dramatic acting was way off, way off. Uh, Jeffrey Wright, to me, in my personal opinion, wasn't given enough to do, and Denzel Washington, to me, and mind you, this is just my personal opinion. I loved everything that Denzel's been in. And I've even seen him turn movies around that I felt weren't that good, but his acting brought the movie back for me. But in this one, I felt like he was doing a parody of himself in a movie. Like you've seen comedians do impressions of Denzel Washington. I felt like he was doing an impression of a comedian doing an impression of Denzel in a movie, and it just felt off and disjointed. A lot of stunt work, of course. Denzel is up there, and just to keep in mind that he is retiring, and he doesn't have a lot of films left. I'm still waiting on Black Panther 3, but this one it just didn't do it for me. A lot of stunt work in it and obvious scenes. To me, even at his age, to me didn't feel like he needed a stunt person per se. Every fast movement Denzel made was done by another person. And these weren't like he's doing Tom Cruise things. These are like regular things, like jolts and shaking up, and it's somebody else. And I was like, well, I didn't know how to feel about that. ASAP Rocky, for a rapper, to portray a rapper in a movie, I figured it should be an easy thing, seeing how in the movie the character is a rapper and has a criminal record, and in real life you're a rapper that has a criminal record or has run-ins with the law. I figured this would be a slam dunk. It's like Eminem and 8 Mile. Like you are literally playing yourself, and I didn't believe you. Oh God, his acting was by far the worst in the entire movie. Um, but I'm not gonna get any spoilers. If you enjoy it, kudos. I will have to go on record to say that this is probably the worst Denzel Washington film that I've ever seen. And I saw Two Guns, and I felt Gladiator 2 should not have even been a movie. But his performance in that movie specifically is why I enjoy Gladiator 2. But yeah, definitely check out the original, High and Low. Uh, hey, and as always, this is just my opinion. I'm just a guy in a wrinkled t shirt. Do what you feel.